Hey everybody, it's me again, Russ. I'm here with Vicky, 2000 Dodge Caravan, and we're gonna change a motor mount. So one of the things I get asked is how come I don't list the tools and stuff I use at the beginning of the videos. This video is a prime example. Like, you should watch this video all the way through before attempting this job. Out of 5 stars, I don't know, I'd give this 2.5, maybe a 3, depending on who you are. Sometimes it can get frustrating trying to line things up and bolt things up and mess with lifting the engine. But you can do this, all right? I can do this, you can do this. Frustration is birthed out of unmet expectations. So, again, I want to reiterate, watching the video all the way through before you start pulling your motor mount out and doing this job, all right?
Always remember to chalk your wheels, even if you don't feel like you're on an incline. Optical illusions happen. It's just smart safety. I am on a bit of an incline, so got my chalk block, which is a decorative chalk block, and it goes well with my garden decor. I have also removed this front wheel to gain access under here. I've removed this shroud, and then I put the jack stand underneath here, which is a secure spot, right, structurally. And then I used this, I added another board this morning to this here, so you can see where you don't want, you don't want to put your jack stand underneath on your oil pan, cause a dent, possibly damage it. So a little bit of wood right underneath there to hold the engine up as you are replacing the motor mount. It's very important because the motor mount up here is holding the engine on. So you're going to need to give that engine some support, and you might need to move it around a little bit to line the bolts up. Next thing I have done is removed the bolt here, that bolt, as it's jacked up. You can see where it's, that pin is kind of cockeyed. We're going to remove this part first, so we're going to pull the whole thing out together. So this bolt, 19 millimeters, correction, 18 millimeters, or if you're using your Harbor Freight tools, it's the green one. Also, you can see I removed the belt. You don't have to do that to do this, just to do this motor mount. I got bigger fish to fry with Vicky here, so I had to take that belt off. But yeah, you don't have to do that to do this job. So once you've given your engine some support and you've pulled this puppy out, and here's where things are different than the 2001 through 2007. The next thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need 2 of these. Right? This is not the greatest setup the way they did this, because there's a bolt that goes all the way through on the bottom here with a nut on the other side. That's right. On the back there's a nut that's also 18 millimeters. See that? Get it lined up on there. Hold that in place. And you're also going to need a deep socket. This one's too short. It wouldn't fit on the back there. For the sake of better vision, I'm going to go ahead and remove this. This is the wrong size screwdriver, but I'm going to remove this hose just to get it out of the way. A helpful tool. All right, breaker bar and better camera angle. There you go. Under the wires. Put this one in place. Loose. And it's turning. I'll put the 18 millimeter on this side, impact. Using the impact screw. So yeah, now it's probably hand tight. And don't forget you're going to have a nut inside of your, mine fell out. somewhere. Well, I'll get around to finding that later. All right, next thing on the agenda, there's 3 bolts. One is directly under the top there. It's bolted to the side, up under here. So, hey, check it out, 2 extensions. Doubled up the extensions. Always good to have the right tools, but when you don't, you can have 2 of the right tools. Vicky here, the 2000 green Dodge Caravan, has been quite the adventure. She has been quite the project. Free van though. Can't argue with the price. There's reasons people give you a free vehicle, right? There we go. Can we save Vicky from being recycled metal? Can we do it? You and me, YouTube. There's that one. And this one. And this part of the motor mount comes up and out. Freaking spider web of wires in the way. You gotta finagle it up and over your bracket. Mine's loose, that probably helps. And get the whole thing out of here. And we're not done yet, as you can see. If you bought the part already, you still need to remove part of it. I'm going to use my vise for that. Over here. Be careful, don't manhandle the wires too much. Yeah, there we go. That's sloppy. Get her a new one. See that? Now we got to remove that. All right, so now I got the motor mount in the vise, and in the description of this video, there is a link to buy a Hex set of sockets, which is $31. The only one I could find on Amazon. Looked all over my city, all the tool stores, trying to find a Hex set of sockets, which I'd probably only use once for this job, and I couldn't find one. So what I'm going to do, this is like one of those, hey, you got to take it to the dealer. Nope. I'm going to take it off with a vice grip. Now, last night I hit it up with some penetrating oil, because we're going to throw this old motor mount away anyway. So I'm just gonna remove this. So I'm just gonna buy a new nut for this thing and take this one off. With a good old vice grip. I mean, lock down my vice here. Man, that is a sloppy motor mount. All right, had to give it just a little more English. And I finally got that sucker loose. Why they would put a... Oh, look at that. So it needs some pull. You gotta kind of pull it as you're turning it. God dang it. Bowling for Burns-O-Matic. All right, look at that. So, got our motor mount off. Look at that. That's when you move it with your finger, that's worn out.
All right. That's how long that bolt is. 5-point hex head. What the heck? What the heck, Chrysler? Come on, man. Take that to the bolt store. All right, here we are at Tacoma Screw Products. This is a wonderful place. And hopefully you have something like this in your city. These guys, there's every screw you can imagine. And I'm also not too far from the Boeing company here in Everett. I'm a long way from Tacoma up here in Everett. But yeah, man, it makes sense that they would have a Tacoma Screw warehouse next to one of the largest plane manufacturers in the world. Getting a 6-point metric. That'll probably work. And what size was that, by the way?
M12.
It's a M12?
M12 by 175, pretty standard stuff.
Nice. All right, so replacing this weird hex with this guy and the washer. All right, now it's time to put on the brand new motor mount here. That's right, I got my frog gear on. And Vicky and I are dancing in the rain, so to speak. All right, unboxing. Here's a part number, by the way. I don't know if you need that. Might be helpful, who knows. Comes in a bag. Yep, that's the one. Matches up. A lot stiffer. The way we like it. Nice. Okay, now I'm going to thread this thing together the same way it came apart. So the first thing you need to do is put your bolt through there. And again, you have a square kind of nut, right? So this doesn't spin in place. And then, remember, this is on the inside. This mounts to the van there, and this is where your R2-D2 friend guy goes on there, right? So we just line these up like this, and it's gonna be a little tight because of the rubber on the top here. And then once you get that together, putting this bolt here on just to hold it in place. Doesn't have to be tight yet. We just want to slide it in there. We'll deal with it once it's inside, because it's really hard to get to this bolt once the mount's in there. So, all right, installing the motor mount. Again, it's a good idea to take this wire off. And for me, I've taken the hose off just because it's a little easier to move around in here. And scratching up my paint job. Oh well. Oh boy. Let's see if I can finagle it under this way. Hey, there we go. That was better. Now, I'm stuck on this vacuum hose over here. Fuel line? I don't know. That needs to go under there. Oh boy. Come on. There you go. Make sure you don't knock any of this stuff loose either. These vacuum tubes and stuff are important. Alright, now that is off. That engine's got to come up quite a bit. There we go, in order to line up. Good thing I got my waterproof iPhone out here. The threads on this bolt are kind of beat up. So. Man. And lucky for me,
I had an extra 15 millimeter from the bracket there because, yeah, man, this one, I was finagling with it for a while, but look at those threads. It's no wonder I didn't want to line up. Not sure what that's about, but alright, this one will thread right up. Alright, this glove is kind of useless, but it's great. It's a clean bolt, so. And this is the one you probably want to cinch down first because you want this thing flat against the vehicle appropriately lining things up. Here we go. So again, I'm just threading the bolts in there. I'm not tightening them down yet because we want a little wiggle room. A little room for wiggle. That's what we want. See that? Line things up. Just tightening it down just enough. Alright, we got a little bit of wiggle room. We'll loosen this one back here. And then we're going to bring the engine up to meet the bracket lifting. Oh boy. Some distance there, isn't there? Look at that. Actually, that lined up quite well. Let's see if I can put the top one in. That one's in there. Now the hard part. This is usually the tough part, is putting this bolt, lining this bolt up. Ugh. Sometimes it does take screwing that down. Jack this up a little more. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh yeah. It's like Austin Powers here pretty soon. There's that. Boom, right through there. That went together splendidly. Splendidly. Easy peasy. Look at that, I got my bolts in. That's freaking awesome. This is going good. I think it stopped raining too. That's helpful. Take off my frog gear. Start to tighten this one down. Neighbors are lifting weights in the garage. Fitness. Gotta keep it going. Anyway, here we go. That one's down. Alright, green like my frog suit. 18 millimeter socket. Deep socket because there's a nut on the back, right? I'm gonna hold that back here like this. And put this one up here like that. Looks like I got a little more free space back here to hold on a second. Make sure I'm going the right way. Right tight. There we go. My dyslexia. Gotta keep checking that. Okay, there we go. Make sure this thing is my gloves are getting a little worse for wear. That's why I like the other ones, the blue ones. These ones aren't very tough. Some people are allergic. I'm allergic to latex. I'm wearing a frog suit, for crying out loud. Alright, now we got this thing pretty close to tight. Again, not totally torqued down yet, because we're going to put the rest of the bolts in the motor mount. Cinch them down just a smidgen. It's raining now. So yeah, curvy ratchet here. It's good to fit into tight places. Get that sucker torqued down. There it is. Hi, wife. And now cinching these puppies here down. Just nice and tight. Again, you don't want to go crazy reefing on them. You just gotta get them nice and snug. The temperature is gonna move around. You want bolts broken off. There we go. That's good and tight now. Put 18 back on there. 18. Alright, so here's what we're dealing with now. See that? Now we're going to tighten this sucker down. Alright, so while these guys are still just a little bit loose, right? See, so these are still, I haven't totally cinched these down yet. And this is the time when you need to start finagling with the weight of your engine and putting this here bolt on, alright? And sometimes you can kind of see it. Maybe if you leave this bolt up higher, you can see the slider and how far it is. Because you want to make sure, like, it's not a... The distance from your engine bracket to where the motor mount's bolted on is... It can be fluid, right? It can change over time. It can change with the vehicle. So just making sure that you have everything cinched down and that you have this motor mount going into, if you can see my finger, the rubber part here. That's what cuts down on the noise. This takes a little finagling too. Shoot. Take a tumble. iPhones are durable. Depends on what you get, I suppose. Yeah, but look at that. Boom. Kind of went down quite a bit, didn't it? Oh, well, there we go. Snug this puppy up. That's nice and snug, man. That's good. That's a good thing. Socket on the other side. I'm gonna cinch this one down. There it is. Be a little more room with extension here. Oh yeah. Tightened up. Alright, and tightened her all down. Boom. Just like that. And then I'm gonna, again, pop that guy on there. Make sure he's clicked. There we go. All this is tightened down. Beautiful thing. That thing is tightened down pretty damn good. I mean, it was in there farther, but I don't want to put extra stress on this bracket because that's probably what caused the bad problems in the first place here. And I mean, everything's lined up, looks good. All right, and now we're gonna lower the engine. Let's see how the motor mount does. Oh yeah. It's all the way down. Motor mount stable. Engine in place. Now I'm gonna put that tensioner pulley back on. I'm gonna wait to put this on, put the belt on first. I may wait for all this to dry. It's a whole lot. Belts don't like going on wet stuff. But one thing I want to point out to viewers is up here. Last part of motor mount video instructional is this very important wire. So if this isn't hooked up, you can have all sorts of electrical problems, man. Take it from me. I've traced a lot of electrical problems down to this here wire. You need a ground between your engine and the rest of the vehicle, because there's a lot of volts coming out of that thing, which is grounded to here and pumping out power. So even a bigger ribbon can be helpful. Some of the bigger voltage, like police cars, sometimes back in the day anyway, early 2000s, used to see cops dragging a piece of it's called a static strap. It would drag on the ground to help ground the vehicle. Here we go. I don't know if they still sell those. Probably. Anyway, we're gonna use our wire brush to make sure we have somewhat adequate grounding here. And our new motor mount is totally painted over, which is all right. So I hit it with the wire brush there, and you got a good amount of stuff. So after static strap is installed, the last step in this adventure will be putting on your little Star Wars droid character. That's right, it slides right on that area. And there you go, all done, successfully complete. Motor mount installed. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video if it helped you in your life. Like, it really helps if you give us a crush the like button, smash it. I don't know, dude, tighten the bolts on it, the like button, hit that thing for me, will you? Subscribe if you want to see more, learn more car stuff. Bye. Why not watch another video? Stick around.